Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video, probably not too long, discussing a dream I had fairly recently relating to Jesus Malverde. Now this dream, when I initially had it, it felt like it was kind of a nonsense dream, or at least what it seemed so at the time. In the dream I was on some kind of property, like at a house that was being remodeled or renovated. I was in the lower portion of the house, so parts of the house were just like it looked like a built house, and other parts looked like it was just like the wooden 2x4s in the frame of a house. So I went into like a backyard area which was covered in like loose dirt piles, mounds of dirt everywhere. It almost looked like it could have been turned into a garden, or maybe they were gonna put concrete there. And above this was like tarps that were covering the whole area, so it was like up there to block out the sun. I was stumbling around the house, wandering from room to room, and eventually I wandered into this backyard area. Now, when I was back there, I felt like there was something I needed to do, but I couldn't remember what it was I was supposed to be doing. I walked a little bit further out into the yard, and when I turned around to look towards the house was like sitting up on bricks or something, and so there was a space between the house and the ground itself, like a shadowy area. And from within the shadowy area, from beneath the foundations of the home, a statue of Jesus Malverde emerged. It wasn't him like as a physical spirit, it was like a bust of him. So it's just like the head and the shoulders, like those busts that we see of him so often online. That's what emerged from beneath the house. It was also accompanied by a statue of Santa Muerte. Now the statue of Jesus Malverde was wearing like a red western shirt with a black neckerchief, and he had like a glowing red aura around him with like these like little sparkling bits of energy like in the aura of the statue. The Santa Muerte statue, I think it was the white statue, but it glowed in a soft like golden yellow color, and the statues were side by side, and they kind of floated out from beneath the foundation of the house as if they were two statues that were being unearthed, emerging from the darkness. And they floated over to me. I got the impression that Santa Muerte had led Jesus Malverde to me. It was like he was trying to speak, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. Like it was like a film over like the vocals that were being heard. So it's like I could hear he was speaking, but I couldn't make out any words in English or in Spanish. But I could sense what he was saying. And what I could sense, or pick up at least, was that he was here because he was to be instrumental in aiding me to achieve some kind of goal that was yet unknown to me. So that was basically the dream. I had a dream I went to a strange house that was being worked on or remodeled, a home, and from beneath the foundations emerged Santa Muerte and Jesus Malverde, and in the dream I knew that she had led him to me and that he was going to be instrumental in aiding me to achieve something, and he was there to help. Now I had that dream on June 18th. Right now we're at the very beginning of July, so that was about, I don't know, less than 2 weeks ago. So more recently, a few days later, like I went to an occult shop. It wasn't a botanica, but they had a lot of Santa Muerte and Jesus Malverde stuff, because the owner, I guess, is a devotee of Jesus. So I went there and I was shopping. I completely forgot about this dream, by the way. So I was shopping and I ended up leaving with a Jesus Malverde statue. Not a bust, but the one of him sitting down, similar to the one I'm showing here on the screen. And I was super eager to buy it. It was kind of an impulse buy. I kind of bought it without thinking. I got really excited when I saw it. And I've always wanted one for my statue collection of saints and folk saints. So I just figured, why not? So I went ahead and bought it just in the moment. And I took it back home. I cleaned it, and I put it on my shelf. I wasn't planning on working with Jesus Malverde. It was just something I just wanted for my physical collection because I like looking at it. Now, I am interested in Jesus Malverde, and I considered working with him. I wasn't sure what there would be to gain from working with him in like a general sense, because I already work with Santa Muerte and she kind of is an all-arounder, so to speak. But I was still kind of open to working with him, I guess. Maybe not just yet, but maybe in the future. In any case, I bought the statue and I cleansed it with Florida water. I put it on the shelf, on the bookshelf. And then later that night, I was in my bedroom, and a voice was heard saying Modelo. It was a male voice. All it said was Modelo. And I thought that was really odd. Now, there are spirits who come around, but none of them, it wasn't a familiar voice at all. It was a man's voice. And I didn't know what to make of that, and I didn't think anything of it. But the funny thing was that later on, I realized two things, or I remember two things. One was I had a small get-together with some friends at my place, maybe a week before or something. And in that get-together, there was Modelo. Somebody brought Modelo, a six-pack of like the cans of Modelo. And I don't drink Modelo, I don't drink it. So that one can has been sitting in the fridge for like a week. And it's, honestly, I forgot about it. And it's funny how, a spirit said the word Modelo. Then the other thing I thought about was when I went to that occult store recently, when I bought the Jesus Malverde statue, the guy who owned the shop, he was a really, really big devotee of Jesus Malverde. He had an enormous altar, a beautiful altar to Jesus Malverde out front, like a public altar. It had 3 enormous statues. This is in Houston, Texas. And when I went to the checkout, above the register, there was a lot of little mini Jesus Malverde statues with cans of Modelo placed in between each statue. Like it was Modelo, a statue, Modelo, a statue. Kind of like that, like in a pattern. And the Modelo cans had scapulars of Jesus Malverde wrapped around them, which are the little, like, kind of cloth necklaces with like those cloth squares with saint pictures on them. And so when I thought about it, I realized, okay, well, apparently Jesus Malverde likes Modelo, because this guy who's a big devotee of him had all these Modelo cans around the Jesus Malverde statues in his shop. And now I get home after buying a Jesus Malverde statue, and I hear an unknown male voice say Modelo. So I don't know if this is a signifier that Jesus Malverde wants to work with me, if he was assuming I was going to start working with him because I bought his statue. Although, to be fair, I have bought other statues. I have a Virgin Mary, St. Jude, St. Benedict, St. Expedite, but I don't really work with them. I have worked with St. Expedite and Mary before, I guess, but I don't have a working practice with any of these spirits. And I really hadn't planned on immediately starting a practice with Jesus Malverde, but I thought it was interesting, and it was verified later on that it was Jesus Malverde. So I'm just sharing this just interesting experience. So this is me telling you about a dream I had about him, and about a week later I bought a statue and I had that experience with a man, which turned out to be him apparently, saying simply just the word Modelo. And now I haven't begun working with him. All of this happened over a week ago, and I have yet to start working with Jesus. I'm not sure, about it, because I'm still working with Santa Muerte. And obviously you can work with more than one saint at a time, more than one being at a time. But I'm just, I do have a channel, but I am still learning and growing as a practitioner, and I don't want to throw myself into the deep end by working with many different beings, because I already work with 2, and I'm still getting to know them on even deeper levels. So so I probably will end up working with him. I don't know how soon, and I won't even speculate, because sometimes, things just happen. Sometimes spirits just present themselves to you. But I am definitely interested, and I'm definitely intrigued. I was planning on making a video about Jesus Malverde on my channel really, really soon anyway, not exactly about how to work with him, because I don't really work with him, but more just about discussing the mythology surrounding him and how other people have been known to kind of work with him, like things like that. So just more like a general information video, because I like to study and research and learn about these saints and different beings, and I like to compile that information into a video for other people if they also want to learn a little bit about these beings. I don't pretend to be an expert, and if I don't work with a being that I'm making a video about, then I will say this is just my research, this isn't me giving you first-hand experiences, etc. So yeah, this is just me sharing an interesting dream I have. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier the drawing of the two statues next to each other. I drew that. It's not a great drawing. It's actually a really tiny little drawing that I drew with pen in one of my notebooks. So that's why the drawing doesn't look like perfect. But yeah, it's a drawing from one of my notebooks where I record spiritual dreams and gnosis that I get from beings and channeled messages. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you all. I hope some of you found it interesting. The interesting synchronicities or coincidences surrounding Jesus Malverde. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you really soon with more videos.